Good morning, this is Lonnie with Borderline. Got the Valley Borders crew up in Promontory Point today, up in Bismarck. Beautiful area, lots of really nice homes. We got kind of the perfect storm this morning. Andrew's just gone there and started the first mix, but a really big landscaper, and they have two houses right in a row. So we're looking at about 300 feet for each house. Next one right over there. This is just gray curb. There's no color. These are all long and flowing lines. This is going to be really easy and fast. This goes all the way around the house. The landscaper is coming up here with a couple guys just to make sure everything is smooth and raked out for us. But the side of the house is really nice, so this is where we're going to start. But each house has about 4 stops, so it's going to be really fast, and there shouldn't be any reason to stop. Right now it's pretty close to 8 o'clock. You can see the next house over here. The guys are going to come and do a little bit of raking on that house before we get over there, but that one, it's the same kind of the same thing. It goes all the way around the house. Again, there's going to be close to 600 feet, so we're loaded for at least 650 just in case there's some extra things that they want or they mismeasured, which happens quite a bit. But so Andrew just threw the first mix in there. We're going to see if we can be back at the shop by noon today after unloading this. Right now we're looking at 755. He's just dumping the first mix. On the first mix, we're going to go ahead and put 2 in there right away because we don't empty the mixer, so all of you know that the first mix is usually a little short, so he's going to do that. Boys are over there goofing off already, so we're ready to rock. We'll keep you posted how things go. Yeah, you can see that's a regular trowel. It's got a flare on the back. Okay, this is what most trowels are. You can see it's pretty smooth, not leaving any on this particular one, not leaving really any waste or any curb snots, we call it. But take a little spray and you can see the difference between that and that. Looks good, but it's got that little kind of a rough surface on it. Take a finishing trowel with no flare on the back. You just go ahead and run through that. See how he's not going back and forth. Okay, it's going to get that curve nice and smooth. Okay, a lot tighter. That's the reason why we don't do double loads. You can only go as fast as the mixer, I believe. We have, a Piledriver. We can get the curb, troweled and cut and rolled, put our drains in, and he's basically back with the next mix. So we run doubles. It's going to be the same thing, except you're just going to be doing 30 feet at a time. It gets a little bit hard, in my opinion, to, trowel, cut and roll 30 feet and do things like that. So with the Piledriver, it just makes it easy. Just do one at a time, and we just go from there. I was told by one guy a while back or whatever, he's like, well, our machine never stops. Our machine stops in between every mix, okay, which is fine. You can only go as fast as your mixer. Okay, so in our case, the PR Sting, even though I don't even have it on turbo right now, I just got it on stock, the machine's faster than the mixer. Okay, you can't mix faster than what the machine can pump out. So let's say we got three We had 3 wheelbarrows, and we put 3 wheelbarrows of concrete out there, and we started curbing. After 3 or 4 more wheelbarrows, we would be caught up with a mixer, because the machine can pump it out, then he can mix. So for us, we just go 1 mix at a time and just bring it. See, now Trey's cutting all the joints. Right now I'd be cutting with them and rolling. We'd be, you know, doing the drains and helping each other out. But he's doing it by himself. The next mix is on the way. So by the time he gets back here, I can jump on the machine and keep going. So technically the machine isn't really stopping. You can only go as fast as the mixer and as fast as the guy can trowel. If you get too far ahead of him, we have a bunch of stops and starts or something like that, and you get way too far ahead of him, you're gonna have to slow down and stop anyway so he can catch up, because your stuff is gonna dry out when it's on the ground. So it's just my opinion. That's just kind of the way we do it. Doesn't mean it's the right thing or the wrong thing. It's just how we work it. You know, different machinery and things like that. And kind of an example right here. Had two stops right there. And because the mixers are coming so fast and the machine is pumping it out, it gets a little bit behind. Okay, so we got to make sure that we kind of slow down just a little bit for, you know, to make sure that he can do his ends correctly and make them look nice. So I told Andrew just a little bit to kind of slow down just for 1 mix until we can catch back up. My 16-year-old was just talking trash to me right now. Said I was fat and slow and out of shape.
Is that stomach sweat on your shirt?
Now he's talking about my belly sweat. He couldn't keep up with this guy, not even close. Fatty. Back there.
Oh, now I'm winded. You're gonna make me run so hard.
I got to start on that one? Yeah, with that. There's a reason I kind of curled that in a little bit. It might be hard to tell, but I'm coming in at kind of an angle. This is going to get really thin right here. So if I got it to this point as it's going down, it's probably going to break off right there. So I curl it in a little bit. It's all going to be filled with grass, but you're going to have less chances of filling that up, breaking off. Got a couple little squiggles here I'm going to fix with my big trowel, but pretty easy to hand pack that if the mix is correct. It's easy on dirt to move. And if I want to just fix a couple of these little squiggles here, just go ahead and push it in. It's easier to push in than pull out. It's gonna kind of crack on the outside. See, I got a little thing right here. Then I can run my trowel along the backside just to clean it up a little bit to make it round. Okay, the flow's a lot nicer right there. We'll go ahead and cut our joints and put a drain there too. Flowing lines like this. The landscaper likes them really long, and sometimes that's actually harder to maintain and harder to do than, you know, sometimes doing straight lines. So once I get on a line, you know, I try to hang on to it right there, but if you get off a little bit, you just have to basically go into the next line so it looks smooth and flowing. His line that he has painted here or drawn out, I'm off that just a little bit, but if I stayed on it, the line wouldn't flow, it wouldn't look good. So I'm just basically going to go across here on my own and make it look good like I would do. All right, just finishing up here. You can see the nice way that he takes the machine back, but just did this long line. I got the 2 houses finished. Everything's been all measured. Trey's just finishing up the last little end here at the property line. Right now it's 10:55. It's all been measured. I don't know if you can see it, but it runs out at 574. So just about 3 hours. So they're gonna go ahead and start cleaning everything up, and wash the street, finish doing everything here, and then we'll be done. So that's pretty much an empty trailer, and that is basically what we're gonna do today. Our goal here is basically, if we can empty the trailer, you know, kind of bust your butt and get everything done as early as possible. We don't work till late in the evening or late in the afternoon. You know, physically it just gets hard on the guys, so we just do as much as we can. If we can empty the trailer, that's a good day, because you're looking at about 600 feet, and you know, money wise, that's pretty good. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys you know, clean out different ways, you know, with water and the pumps that we carry. You know, a small Honda pump can produce a ton of pressure. We're pretty fortunate here in Bismarck that they really don't give us too much grief about washing in the street. Now, if it's a color job and there's brown, reds, and things like that, we don't dump it on the street. That's not very smart. We'll clean everything out in the mixer, leave the mixer up, and then when we get back to the shop, we can dump it there. But as far as just dirty water, we'll bang the drum up, get everything out that's dry, and hoe it out as much as possible, and then we'll blast it with the hose. You know, if you do run a PR Sting or any of those other machines, especially with the skids, you got to make sure those skids are clean after every single job, or else they'll get stuck back there and your plunger won't work properly and will get stuck. So that's kind of how we do it. And then you know, we're just gonna take a broom, wash up the street, get everything flowing down there real good. If we got to empty the whole tank of water just to make it flow down the street, that's fine. We got other tanks over there, but this job is done. These 2 houses, and we're gonna be on our way.